Raj Sanga of Carded Security, welcome back to the channel. Let me introduce to you our third Slam Sanctuary Customs project, our BMW 840Ci Sport. The Merc has been gone for weeks, but we're still getting DMs and emails and questions about, is it still for sale? Guys, the car is sold, it's long gone. This BMW 840Ci Sport, our third project, is a replacement for the Merc. This car, so this is a 1999 BMW 840Ci Sport, individual spec. The color Aegean blue, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, is not on the normal palette of colors. And I've got to say, what a beautiful color. It's like a sort of dark blue, greeny color depending on the light. I love the interior. That contrast of that cream stroke champagne interior works really well with the external color. So this is the 4.4 V8 version. Only 3 previous owners, very well kept, massive service history file. MOTs going back years and so on. This car would have cost brand new in 1999, I think June 1999, £57,000. The second owner of this car bought it in February 2000. I've actually got the original receipt from February 2000, and he paid £42,000 for it. So £15,000 depreciation in 6 months. That's just crazy. Obviously, I've paid nowhere near that. And talking about what I paid and who I got it off, I have to thank Raj Sira, aka Sira Car Collector. He knew I was after an 8 Series. He got offered this. He was on the blower to me. Raj, I've seen this car, sent me pictures, sent me videos, and I bought the car more or less blind on his say-so. So Raj Sira, thank you very much. So this is the 840Ci Sport. So from factory, this comes with the M Sport body kit, which are the side sills, and also these M3 style mirrors, which are the same mirrors that are on my E36 M3. Style 5 17-inch wheels, which actually look pretty good on the car. They fill the arches fairly well, but you know we're going to change those at some point. And coming onto the back, you will see the only modification on this car, the exhaust. So I'm not sure if it's a full system or if it's just a back box. It's not too droney, actually sounds beautiful, and it sort of helps with that V8 burble. So yeah, only one modification on this car. Not really had an opportunity to drive it, and only last week we pulled it out in preparation for this episode, and I was like blown away how sweet it runs. And again, you'll see that in a few moments. Previous owners have maintained it regardless of cost. Engine-wise, you've got brand new rocker cover gaskets, which were fitted in 2020, only 5,000 miles ago. You've got new top mounts, ball joints, you've got time chain, it's been fully serviced. In fact, the suspension's been upgraded. It's got B12 suspension kit. The previous owner has been through the car and sorted out all the rust issues. So the rear quarters, the wing mirrors, the sill, the lower front bumper and the rear bumper have all been painted, and the color match is absolutely perfect. So with that all being said, I think I've got myself a very, very good car. Let me show you the interior. So interior wise, you've got these gorgeous sport seats, sort of cream champagne leather interior. I think these have been treated at some point because in the paperwork I've seen that this car originally came with blue piping. I'm quite happy with the way it looks actually. Stock steering wheel, the stereo has been changed. You've got a rip-speed single-din stereo. The original stereo is still with the car. That will keep to one side. Obviously the audio will be upgraded. We'll talk about that in a few moments. But I think it's time I got in, went for a drive, and show you how good this car is. Now internally, all the electronics work, including the wipers, which are being used at the moment. These cars are renowned for having electrical gremlins because of the amount of cabling that's inside. And to be fair, everyone says that the 8 Series was ahead of its time. And I can understand why. I love the dashboard layout and the instrument cluster with the 4 dials. A lot of buttons in the center console. Probably a little bit overdone in today's tech world, but every button here has a function. And even on the door card, you've got all the 4 windows here and the adjustment for the mirrors. And remember guys, this is a pillarless design, so when all 4 windows are down, you've got that lovely slick coupe look with no pillar in the middle. Another cool feature of this 8 Series are those retro pop-up lights, which are familiar in the 80s and 90s with BMW, Ferrari, Toyota MR2s and so on. They do look great and they work. One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about the interior is that I found a invoice in the service folder from Dave the Trimmer. Big up Dave the Trimmer, know him very well. Previous owner had fresh headlining installed. The A, B and C pillars were retrimmed, and including the rear deck that was retrimmed as well, and it does feel absolutely beautiful. Now this car does have an automatic gearbox, and the gearbox isn't sluggish by any means. It's actually a very smooth gear change. You've also got Steptronic, so if you push the gear lever to the left, you can shift gears up and down by pushing and pulling on the gear lever. So if I push up, it switches up. If I push back, it drops it down a gear. 5-speed gearbox, and I've got to say with the Steptronic, it's even smoother. It's a lovely gearbox. You know, I'm going to make a comparison with my 635 CSI here, because you could argue this is the replacement for the 635. The 635 in comparison feels sluggish, and even when you put that into sort of manual mode, the gear changes are still a little bit sluggish. So a vast improvement over the 635. Now the 8 Series was always known as that sort of CEO, managing director's car of the 90s. So, you know, if you were doing very well and you wanted to buy the top BMW at that time, you'd buy the 840, or if you were doing exceptionally well, you'd go out and buy the V12 version, the 850. So yeah, these cars were looked after and maintained exceptionally well in the early years because they all belonged to CEOs and MDs. It's a proper GT cruiser. When you want to put your foot down, or if you want to drop it a gear, off you go, and it pulls plenty of torque. Surprising actually that for a car that's best part of 23 years old, there's plenty of torque and plenty of power. Brakes, okay, a little bit spongy, they need seeing to. I've got to say guys, this gearbox is beautiful. So sweet, the gear changes are so smooth. It's enough space. Okay, the rear seats are not usable. Typical 90s cars. I don't know why you have them there. Not that I have young kids anyway. It's got a ginormous boot. There's plenty of power, it's usable power. All the electronics work. Obviously need some sort of audio upgrade, but I could actually daily this car. So let's talk modifications. Now in true Slam Sanctuary custom style, so we'll be fitting airlift 3/8 suspension, airlift controller and management obviously, and that will give the car a bit more road presence. It will drive a little bit firmer, and there'll be even less body roll, and most importantly we will have that look we want, which is slammed on the floor with some big ass wheels. I'll get onto wheels in a moment. So yeah, currently it's fitted with the 17-inch Star 5s, which are pretty cool. They look perfect for the car. Now there are a few options in wheels. One option is, like we did with our Merc W124, we can use the wheels that are on the car, take them over to our friend Ellie over at Voodoo Motorsport, and get him to step up these wheels to 18 or 19 inch. So that's one option, and that would work well. We own the wheels, so in terms of cost, it'll be the cheapest solution. The other solution is we keep these wheels, we park the wheels, and we get a new set of wheels. So we can go for something like Racing Dynamics, Hartiger, Alpina, maybe a set of 18s or 19s with a big dish, 2-piece, 3-piece. Guys, what do you think? Should I just use the stock wheels and modify them, or should I go for a totally different look? What would you do? Obviously, we are going to do the audio. And I think for this car, because of the type of car it is and the look, the audio has to be a step up. So we're not going to go with entry-level equipment. We're going to go mid-top-end equipment. So this rip speed unit will come out. We'll replace it with a slick single-din stereo. Not sure which one yet. And in terms of audio and speakers, everything in the car will be ripped out. We will add subs, or maybe one sub, and obviously amplifiers. Security-wise, you've only got the stock BMW alarm, so no doubt Clifford alarm, central locking, obviously total closure with the windows, and we need to add a smart track tracker. Fairly straightforward, we'll get those done. But we don't finish there, do we? Interior-wise, nothing needs to be done. It needs a spruce, so it will need a good detail. There are a couple of things I've noticed on the outside. We'll get them obviously taken out, but detail the whole car, valet the whole car, give the inside a good clean and a good spruce up, and then we're more or less done. So what's the plan when we're done? Well, first, we've got a timeline. So we want to try and complete this car by March. Why March? Well, our first proper show is middle of March, Ultimate Dubs in Telford. And we want this car on our airlift stand along with the 635 CSI, and they will look pretty cool together side by side. So we've got 4 months. The car will be going up for sale. Probably not straight away though, guys. So by all means, register your interest, but we are going to use it for the show season. There are not many 8 Series out there which are modified, and I know the owners of all the ones that are modified, and we're obviously going to do ours a little bit differently. So it'd be kind of cool to have another 8 Series out there for a while, 2023 show season, and maybe towards the end of the show season, we will look to move it on. So if you're interested, just drop us a DM and we'll keep your details on file and come back to you when we're ready to sell the car. Right guys, so our 840Ci Sport individual, our third Slam Sanctuary Customs project. We have already purchased our 4th Slam Sanctuary Customs project, and that will be coming onto the channel very soon. What do you guys think of our 840? Good choice? You do like the color? I absolutely love the color combo. I love the car. What a cool car. A good replacement for the W124 Coupe? Again, I believe so. What do you guys think? What do you think of our modifications? I know some of you purists will be thinking, guys, why are you throwing air ride on such a cool car? But you got to remember, guys, everything is reversible. So if you want to buy this car and you don't like the air ride for whatever reason, take it off, put the Bilsteins back on. Welcome all your comments and they'll be taken on board. Make sure you keep an eye on our socials and watch this project. We've got a very small timeline, as I've said, 4 months to get this car done. So we're going to be banging out those episodes monthly to ensure that the car is done by the middle of March. Follow the journey, guys, and make sure you give this episode a thumbs up. Smash that like button now. Don't forget, share our content and make sure you've subscribed to the channel. Come on guys, our channel is getting a lot of views. We are throwing a lot of different content out there. So if you are watching and you've not subscribed, why not? If you watched till now, you need to subscribe to the channel. Just hit that subscribe button. That's all we're asking. Okay guys, that's me done. I'm gonna go for a long cruise in this car because it's just a beautiful place to be. I will see you on another episode on Cast TV. Over and out.